So here I am getting ready to head into work. This is the last night for this school year that I'll be cleaning at night. Starting tomorrow for about 6 weeks, be on days cleaning at the schools for the school system. So going to be kind of enjoying this last night. There's something I wanted to mention before I head in. I I got a thank you card today. It's from my first teacher I ever had, Miss Susan Battles at Riley Elementary School in Indiana. And one thing for me is doing things not always just about money, not always about notoriety, but to get a reward. And I wanted to take a second and I wanted to share what this reward that I got is. Riley Elementary was the first school I ever went to as a student back in the early 80s. Miss Battles at the time had just gotten out of college. She had just started her teaching career. So this event meant a lot to me because not only was I coming back as an author um, to do James Whitcomb Riley Elementary, to do a presentation with Barney and Lexi, Miss Battles is actually now contemplating in the next year or two retiring. And so I did the presentation, signed books, and I was so moved by it that I also have a weekly column in the Sumner, Illinois Press newspaper. And the article I wrote that week was over my experiences with that and how much Miss Battles had touched me and how much of an influence she had in my writing career that she didn't realize for 30 some years. And I'd like to take a moment. I'd like to read this, and I just want to share it. So it says, Dear Levi, thank you so much for your kind words when you spoke at Riley. I felt so special to be recognized in this way. But when I read the newspaper column, I was moved to tears. So many times, students remember their high school or middle school teachers, but rarely do they think of their kindergarten years. It's usually so long ago for most of them. But you did. My goal always was to provide a safe, creative, fun atmosphere for my 5-year-old students. I wanted every one of them to love school. You have excelled at what you do, not because of me, but because you already had the creativeness in you. It simply grew with you. I'm not I am so really proud of you. I'm not good at saying those things in person. I get too caught up in the emotion. But please know that I think of it. I enjoyed your book. I know the kids did too. Thanks for remembering Riley School and me in such a wonderful way. You'll never know how much it meant to me. Fondly, Susan Battles. One of the most wonderful things that you can do in life is just for things like this. Of all the money in the world that I could have as a writer, this is priceless. And it's going to go up on my wall here in my office, just like all the other ones. When you go out and you do something to give back, to recognize, to show compassion and support for something else outside of yourself, it just brings so much to you. And a lot of people get caught up in thinking that nothing good could come of it. And this is my reward for the week. It's just Monday right now, and the card says thanks. It was so nice. Sometimes, guys, those are the best rewards. Sometimes that is what keeps you going. And I don't feel that I did anything but give back to class that gave to me. I mean, I look back to 1984, the year I was in Miss Battle's kindergarten class. That's where I started being creative. That's where my mind really started, in those early years, and it's carried with me. And I think too often teachers at that level, because they're so far back, they don't get the recognition that they do because their students are so young. And I wanted to take the chance to tell mine that she really meant a lot. So the best feeling in the world is knowing that as she's contemplating retirement in the future here, to know that one of her students at the very beginning of that career was touched. I think that's the best gift that you can give a teacher is to go back several years later, in my case 33 years, and tell that teacher you mean a lot even now. Because at the end of a teacher's career, that can have more value than anything, just like this has value. You know, they're priceless. So whatever you do, be grateful, always give back, and watch things come out of nowhere to give to you. Just do it from here. See ya.